Hello, this is me, JG Jane Sad, and I thought I'd do a video explaining what I've been doing for about the last 6 weeks nearly, and where I'm going with the channel. What I've got here is I've got Flash. This is being recorded on a Pentium D. This is quite an old computer, so it's a bit stuttery or it's a little bit funny with the sound. It's because of that. And I've got all the projects on this machine, and I don't think it would work if I put them onto my other machine, my Core 2 Quad. So this is the Flash software that I got. I got this off the internet for free. There's a version you can get online with a key. This is 2004 version and it's quite old. And what I basically learned to do is really dodgy, not particularly good animation, and that I've been doing for about the last 5 or 6 weeks. So what I've got here, I'm just going to explain what I've been doing and what it involves, just as a point of interest. So this is the stage. This is where you put your animation, and what I've done is I've pre-drawn all of these. This is not something that I actually draw on the program. I go into another program called PaintShop Pro, which I've got. This might make the recording go a bit slow. This is quite an old program, and what I've got is, if we go into, I can bloody find it, I'm in the wrong, we've got, say, Lara body, and we'll do a thumbnail view. What I've done here, stuff I've not used and stuff that I've been using. Where is it? Okay, so we've got like this thing going on here, and we've got like basically I draw Lara, and what you can do in Flash is you can basically import them and then break them apart, and then you can basically paste the arm here and resize it, and then I cut the eyes out. I do the main template of the body, and then I basically draw another mouth based on that, and then I cut it out, put it here, and then I import the whole thing, and then I put the mouth on and the eyes on, the blinks and the mouth, the lip sync and everything. So that's basically how I do my animation. I just draw it before I actually do anything, because it would take forever. I don't know how to animate the traditional way. That's basically what I've been doing with the animation. This funny look that I've got, it's just basically pre-drawn. I draw them in here and then I import them, so it's not like I'm doing anything amazing with that. So that's basically how I do that. And then once you've got them into the program, the thing I didn't really understand was layers and then symbols. So if we've got, this is basically, the boat is a symbol, right? So click on it and a square happens like an outline. And then what happens then is, if you want to put something in the boat and you want it to move with the boat, say, you have to put each person inside of the symbol. So this, where it says boat, it's been tweened, which is how it's moving like that. It's moving. There's a voice track here. I'm doing my voice, this commentary on a different computer, so I can't hear it. But so let's say we want to go into the boat. We've got Lara. So click on Lara. And there it is. And what you've got here is a series of keyframes, and if you can lock them so you don't accidentally move something. But say you want to take that away, let's go closer. This zoom system is really antiquated, it's annoying. You have to go, you don't use the mouse wheel, you got to click on the plus, and then it's a bit annoying. Say you wanted to show, what's that, an arm or something. Got, what am I doing here? You can make the body disappear so you can see what's behind it for editing purposes. You can say, if you didn't know which arm was which, you just, which one is it? Let's say that one there. It makes that one so you know which one you're dealing with, so you don't move the wrong one. And it's a very long, tedious process to move an arm. And if I wanted to move that arm, I'd go on to that, and then I would go free transform. And what you get is this dot, and you move it to the top, and that's like a pivot point, and then you do that. And when you want to move it left or right, say you wanted to move it there, say that was the arm was, say, here, it's like whichever one it is, you just put a keyframe and then you move it again. You put a keyframe and move it a bit more, another keyframe, move it a bit more, another keyframe. When the timeline goes this way, it would move as you put the keyframes in. It's a little bit complicated. It took me a while to get the hang of that. I didn't understand any of that at all when I first did it. The learning curve is very steep in the beginning, but I found it actually did work quite well. You can undo anything. It literally step by step you can undo loads of things. So basically what I do is I just put the characters into that, and we've got the blinks there. That's another thing, you have to add the blink. It looks really complicated, and it is on the face of it, but once you get your head around the basic concepts, it isn't too bad, and I've actually managed to pick it up. This is why I've been doing lots of videos. I'm kind of had enough of doing the TRLEs. I'm not saying I'm giving them up, but I'm interested in doing this, and if I forget how to do the animation, it'll be 10 times as hard to pursue it. So that's why I'm doing it, because I kind of want to learn it. If I don't learn it, then I'll forget, and if I forget, I'm going to be like, oh no, I've forgotten it. So that's why I'm doing so many. And it's just really fascinating to me to be able to get this fast. I didn't think I'd be able to do it. This is why I've been doing so many of them. I'm thinking, hey, I can do this thing with the voices, and I can do the thing with the animation, and it's ropey and it's dodgy and it's not particularly good animation. I'm not saying it's any good, it's terrible. I've only been doing it like 6 weeks, but I've got these characters going on, and it's kind of just fascinating to me to just do it. It's very hard work at times, especially the lip sync. What I do is if I go into say Amanda, we've got her mouth going on. Where's her mouth? Hang on a minute. Go a little bit closer to that. We've got this mouth, and what I do is, the way I do it, it's probably not the way you're supposed to do it. Where's the mouth gone? Which one is it? Where's her mouth at? Which one is it? Oh, a minute, I have to put it on the mouth. I don't know which one's the mouth. Which one's the mouth? There it is. What I do is, I put the mouth on, I literally import it and turn it into a symbol, and I place it on top of the closed mouth like that. You can't see it because it's invisible. There it is. And what I do is, say this, where's the mouth? Which one was it? Yeah, this one. What you do is you end up with a keyframe, and you get a long grey kind of line, and then when I want the mouth to disappear, I put a keyframe, and then I put another keyframe between the two. I put a blank keyframe, and it makes it appear like that. So when I want it to disappear, I put another keyframe, and before each word I put a keyframe, like just one, and then just before I put a blank one, and it makes it disappear and reappear like that in time with my voice. So I have to put the voice track here, and then I put a keyframe there, and I put a blank one there, and it disappears and it reappears. Basically, that's how it works. And I've gotten used to doing it. I'm not sure if you're supposed to do it that way. I'm probably doing it wrong, but it's the way that works for me, and it's very simple. But I have to basically go through each word and put, whenever there's, let's say, Amanda talking, I have to do this on-off technique, which is basically what I'm doing. It looks really complicated. Again, once you know what you're doing, you kind of zone in and you go into an autopilot mode, and that's what I'm doing on these. And it takes about 7 hours to do a minute. And the more you put in, the more things you want to happen at the same time, the longer it takes. We're on the boat trip, aren't we? Hang on a minute. Which one is it? It can get very complicated, and the further you go down that... No, I don't want that one, do I? Let's open that one. It could crash. Which one is it? I did, yeah, see that one there? This isn't the actual one. It might actually be, hang on a minute. Bring that up a little bit. This is a version where I think I did it wrong, but see where you've got Sophia's head and the blinks are on? I didn't remove them, so it's easy to get mixed up. That's quite a dodgy one, that one. But that's what I've been doing, and this is not a guide. I mean, I barely understand it myself, and I'm still struggling with some of the aspects of it. Sometimes it can give me a lot of errors or faults. And I've got the Winston thing going on. Where's that Winston one? I did this one the other day for my subscribe video, which ironically 2 people unsubscribed. So I'm like, whatever. it's how it works. YouTube, people subscribe, they unsubscribe, so it's fine. But I did this thing where I moved them. I actually cut this out of the actual Tomb Raider 2 game. I took a screenshot and then I cut it out. I imported it and then I tweened him. Here we go and click on this. There's the tween. And I had to move his legs like this. There's one leg. This is pretty simple stuff. There's his body, and then I did all the sound effects after I did it. There's his legs moving like that. And basically, you have to basically work out how long you want his legs to move, and then you have to kind of, I guess, I do a lot of guessing. So I thought, well, that's about. It says here, is that seconds? There's elapsed time, and there's the frame. So that was about 12 seconds to cross the screen, because he walks very slowly. So when I did it, there's no audio on this video. I did add that later on. You just press that and he does that. In fact, I'll tell you what, take away the background, we just mute that one. This is where the screen is, and I had to put him outside of it. You start him here, and then you basically select tween, where you've got where is it? I have to search for this. Go, where is it? It says create motion tween, and then basically you click on what you want to move from there, hold the mouse button down, and then drop it there. And you've got to keep it straight, or it'll go up, or it'll go down. And then he moves, and if I get not enough footsteps, he'll just stop walking, but he'll still move. So it's a bit annoying to do that. But when I bring it in like that, he starts walking. I think, oh yes, that works quite well. It took me about 25 minutes to do this one. Each scene takes a certain amount of time. The more you put in, the longer it takes, the more complicated it is. It's 7 or 8 hours to do a minute, basically. And if I do a 3-minute video, a 3-minute animation, that's going to take 3 or 4 days, 7 or 8 hours, something like that. So that's just basically, there's a whole bunch of stuff I'm not saying because it would take too long to explain it, to do with the way the library works, the way that I import them. The cutting out really gets on my nerves because you have to kind of break them apart. And then the audio, you've got to import that. You've got to drag it from the library. You've got to import it to there, and then you drag it, and it puts it on. You've got to create a layer. And then when you create, if you put it on the wrong layer, it won't tell you put it. Say if I put it on top of this, I don't know what that is. What's this? One of these. If I put it on the background, it'll replace the background, and I won't notice. And it's like, ugh. And the way this, sometimes it can give you funny messages about why it isn't working, and it's like, why isn't it working? And it will do a thing. It will say you can't put a symbol in a symbol for this reason, because whatever you put into here, it keeps everything that you've ever imported. And this gets really complicated. The further you go, the more things you put into it, the more stuff you're putting in. If you duplicate any of the things you put in, it gives you an error, or it won't let you do it. So yeah, that's Flash, Macromedia Flash, and what I've been doing with the animation. Just for a change, I'm not abandoning the TRLEs. I just want to do something different, and I don't want to forget how to do the animation. And I might return to them in a while. I think I'm just on a hiatus of it because I'm kind of bored of doing them, and they require a lot of editing. So this is Macromedia Flash MX 2004, and my kind of just mission to do something different, I suppose, to what I've been doing for the last 4-5 years. So that's all from me. I'll be back in another video. I don't know when I'll be doing a TRLE next, but I'll certainly be doing some new animation this week. So until next time,